So here's the thing most guitarists get wrong about practice. You sit down, you run through some scales, maybe noodle around for a bit and learn a new lick off YouTube, and then you walk away not really sure if any of that actually helped. And I get it, I've been teaching for over 10 years, and this is by far one of the most common things I see. So today, I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to practice. It's a routine that ties together 3 essential skills: knowing which chords are in a key, playing those chords all over the neck, and soloing over the top of them. And you do this all in one session by recording yourself and layering parts on top. You can use a looper pedal app on your phone, a DAW straight into your computer, doesn't matter. And the reason I love this so much is because it actually sounds like music when you're doing it. You're not just running through exercises, you're actually composing something. And if you've been stuck in the cycle of learning more stuff but not really improving, this is probably what's been missing, so let's get into it. So here's what most practice sessions look like. You run through some chord changes, play a scale you learned ages ago, but none of it really connects. Sounds like you're collecting pieces of a puzzle but never really actually putting the puzzle together. And the thing is, it's not because you're lazy or not talented enough, it's because no one ever showed you how to tie everything together in one go. So that's what we're going to fix now. So first we're going to look at the chord number system, and there's a PDF with all this available to accompany the video, and that's available for free below, so check that out. And the way it works is if you look at the diagram, you'll see a whole bunch of numbers from 1 to 6 in the major key and 1 to a flat 7 in the minor key, and those numbers represent the root note in which you build your chord from, and wherever you line up the 1 with, that's going to determine what key you're in. So if we looked at the very first diagram, we can see the 1 is on this 5th fret on the E string, which is an A note, so that's where my 1 chord would be built. If I wanted to play my 4 chord, I simply go onto the next string on the same fret, which is a D note, then my 5 chord would be 2 frets across from that, and back to my 1. And as well as that, you'll see there's a 2 chord, 2 frets across from my 1, then a 3 chord across from that, a 6 above that, a 6 back here, another 2 here, another 3 here. They're the same notes as the other 2 and 3. So those are how you find the root notes for the chords. And then all you have to do, if it's a black number, you build a major bar chord from the root note. And if it's a red number, then you build a minor chord. So for a major key, which this diagram is in, my 1 chord, 4 chord, and 5 chord would be played as major bar chords. Now my 2 chord, whether I play it over here or over here, I would be playing minor chords for those. 3 chord over here, I would play a minor chord for that as well. Or if I played it over here, 6 chord back here, minor, or over here, minor, both are going to work. And the next diagram is the exact same idea, but if your 1 chord is on the A string, so if I was in a key like D and I wanted to play my 1 chord on the 5th fret on the A string here, I would play my 1 chord here, 4 chord back here, 5 chord over here, then back to my 1. I'd play my 6 chord back here, 3 chord over here, 4 chord, 5, 1. You get the idea. So that's how you know which chords fit together. The next diagrams are the exact same idea, but if you're in a minor key. So now you'll notice the 1, 4, and 5 chord are red because they're played as minor chords. So if I was in A minor, 1, 4, 5, like that. Back to my 1. And there's some other chords in there, flat 3, flat 6, flat 7. Don't worry about why they're called that for now, but just know that that's where the root notes are for your chords that belong to a minor key, and you would play them as major chords. So if my 1 was here, I could go back to my flat 7, back again to my flat 6, flat 7, flat 3 above that, major chord, back to my 1. So you can choose from all those chords to play in a minor key. And again, we have the exact same idea in the next diagram, but if your 1 chord was on the A string, so if I was in the key like D minor, my 1 would be here, 4, over here, 5, over here, 1, flat 6, flat 7, flat 3, 1. So that's my first step. I choose if I want to be in a major or minor key. Then I choose 4 or so chords that fit together, and I'm going to loop that as my foundation chord progression. So for today, I'm going to choose a minor key. I'm going to choose the key of A minor. So for my chord progression, I'm going to go 1, 4, flat 6, flat 7. Those are the chords I'm going to choose, and now I'm going to loop it with a bit more rhythm. Now I have that looped. So that's step one, and we're going to build on this loop later. So here's the next thing that holds most players back. You know, your open chords or bar chords like we used just before. But if I asked you to play those same type of chords in a different area of the fretboard, say the 10th fret, you would probably have no idea how to do it, and you would be guessing for the most part. So you end up always playing your chords in one area of the fretboard. So now what we're going to do is find those same chords that we played from earlier, but in a different area of the fretboard using just small 3-note triads so we can layer on top of our loop. And to do that, we're going to be using the 3-string system, and I have a whole PDF and video available on that in the description too if you want to grab that. But we're going to be using the chord shapes from that to layer on top. So I'm going to play that same chord progression, but just using my G, B, and high E string. And I'm going to do it more in this middle section of the fretboard, like frets 7 to 12, for example. So what we're going to do is find the root note for all those chords I played before on those 3 strings in that area of the fretboard I just mentioned. So first we need to find an A note. Now I'm going to use this A on the 10th fret of the B string. Then the next chord was D minor, so I'm going to find a D note in that area, which I know is just on this 10th fret of the high E. Then my F chord, which was my flat 6 chord from a minor key, I'm going to use this F here on the 10th fret of the G. And then the last chord, which was a G bar chord or a flat 7 chord, I'm going to use this 8th fret of the B string. So here's all the root notes for my chords. A here, D here, F, and then G. Now I'm just going to look at the diagrams for chords on the top string set, and I'm going to build the appropriate chord shape around them. So for this A minor chord on the B string, I'm going to use this D minor shape because it has the root note on the B string. So this would be an A minor chord. Then for this D note here, I'm going to build a minor chord with the root note on the high E string, which is just this one here, these 3 notes. And then this F here, the root note's on the G, so I'm going to look for the major triad that has that, which would be this one. And then this G note here, the root note's on the B, so I look for a major triad with the root note on the B, which would be this one. So now I have this little cluster of chords to use. A minor, D minor, F major, G major. Same chords as before, just in a different area of the fretboard. So now I'm going to get my loop going again and loop that on top of it. So now that I have that looped, it makes my chord progression sound a bit more interesting, widens it out sonically a bit more layers, and as well as that, I'm learning my notes on the fretboard and how to play triads by trying to play those chords in a different place. And you'll notice the way I played them wasn't so strummy, it was more just a sustained note, and that's because we already have chords being strummed in the background, so we don't want to clash with that too much. But feel free to experiment with different rhythms and stuff that you see fit. So now we've got our loop sorted, we're going to actually solo over it, and when it comes to soloing, most players get stuck in one pentatonic box. You know the shape, you play the same licks, and it starts to feel a bit stale. And you try learning all these 5 shapes at once, and it's just too overwhelming. There's too many variables to think about. So what we're going to do is use my hybrid shapes, which again, there's a link for in the description and a full video on that. This way we can play all over the fretboard relatively easily. We don't have to worry about all these different shapes. So if we're in the key of A minor, we line up the note with R in it with the A note. So that first shape, it would be here on the 5th fret. Then I can play this 3rd fret back here if I want. Then when I get to this note, this is my crossover note, so I can choose to play those blue notes, which are like pattern 1 of your vertical shapes. Or I can slide across and keep going up the scale. So that's the first shape I could use because our chord progression is in A minor. Now the other option is I can go to this A note all the way up here on the A string, and this is where I can play my second shape. Then when I get to here, I can either choose to play the top part of pattern 4, or I can choose to keep sliding up. So those are going to be our scale choices. And if this pentatonic scale stuff is going way over your head, I do have a course, Pentatonic Zero to Hero, that'll take you from knowing nothing to soloing very confidently over the guitar and sounding musical, most importantly. So check that out if you need help. So now we've got our chord progression recorded. We've got another layer on top of that using our little triad shapes. And now I know a scale I can use to solo over it. So it's time to combine all of them. So I'll get my loop going and solo over it using those shapes. So that's it, chords, rhythm, and soloing all in one loop. And the key with this is doing it regularly, changing the key each time, changing the progression, and you'll be shocked at how much more confident your playing sounds in just a few weeks. But take your time with it, be patient, and have fun. Now here's the thing, everything I just showed you will get you playing all over the neck, but there's a reason why some players can be playing the exact same notes as you and sound 10 times better. And it's not to do with having more speed or knowing more scales. So I made a video over here that explains exactly what it is and how to practice it, so make sure to check that out next. But otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.